So here's your international fan reaction for Wolves 2, Brighton 3. You're going to want to listen to this.
Hey Dave, Wolfman Jeff here on the porch in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Another disappointing loss. That's right, we lost again. It gets old. Hopes were up a little bit. There was some improvement. Some players in particular did much better. Guiche did, I think, his best game in a Wolves shirt. There was a lot of promise with him we've not seen, so that was good to see. Babacar is doing a lot better. It was probably one of his better games. Drop in form in some of our other players. Semedo, I'm looking at you. That may have cost us the game. Was when we went down to 10 men. Disappointing. Wasn't really expecting the points, to be blunt. Certainly not expecting it next week. But it looked like we were going to get at least a draw. And it felt like that was very doable. Just collapsed. Just not enough. And stupid mistakes. Some players are working harder and some just still seem to be numb. Wolfman Jeff here on the porch in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Hey Dave Renewables here. Well, how many times this season are we going to say we played really well and we should have come away with something and didn't? Today definitely felt like that. I think on the plus side, I think, you know, we scored 2 goals. We've been able to say that for a while. And I think we played some really good stuff today, and we gave Brighton, who are really in-form, good team, we gave them a really good game today. That's really encouraging. It was great to see Guedes not only get a goal, but I thought he was really good today. I mean, every other game I've seen him, he looked a shadow of what he was today, so that's really encouraging. So I think, you know, there's some really good signs there for Lopetegui. I think that's how you say it, to build on. So that's the promising side. The frustrating side is just, you know, again, we lack a bit of a cutting edge in front of goal, and the defensive mistakes really cost us today. You know, I think it was their equaliser where Semedo got out jumped. That was just really poor. The red card, I've got to watch it back. I know a few people said it was really harsh to say it was a denying the goal scoring opportunity, but I honestly can't say I've seen it, so I can't comment. I saw some comment. Gary Lineker on Match of the Day said our penalty was a ludicrous decision. I might have to try and watch Match of the Day, because I don't see on what planet that's not a penalty. The guy had his arm pointing directly up in the air and the ball hit it in the penalty area. I don't know how else you can define a penalty. Maybe I'm missing something. But certainly an end-to-end exciting match, and I would have been happy with a point. To be honest, with 10 men, obviously we need wins at this point of the season, but a point today would have been good against, like I said, a good Brighton team down to 10 men. But just to lose it like that at the end was just really heartbreaking. And with Arsenal up next, they're in a good vein of form. I'm not sure we're going to get anything out of next weekend. So we're right down towards the bottom. Maybe by next weekend we'll even be on the bottom by the time Lopetegui comes in. But you know, I think there's some really good signs there. You know, I was looking at our injury list, which is pretty horrible at the moment, so hopefully we can get a few of those back. I think we can make some good January signings, and Lopetegui's got the month of the World Cup to, you know, do his research, work with the players who are still at the club, and get a plan in place, get some good signings in early. And I think there's some encouraging signs. I was feeling a little bit hopeless a few weeks ago, but I think there are some good signs there for him to build on. So fingers crossed we have a much better second half of the season, and we can save ourselves and really get some good momentum going into next season. I don't think we're going to really accomplish anything this season. I think the season's too far gone, but not just avoid relegation, but get comfortably mid-table will be a good end to this season, and then give ourselves a platform for next year. So that's it. Really heartbreaking loss. I really think we deserve something out of the game, but it wasn't to be. But hopefully this starts to be a turning point. All right, mate.
This is Chris from Eidsvoll in Norway, shortly after what feels like a very damaging 3-2 defeat to Brighton. I feel very low after that, I have to say. you know, I was optimistic going into the game because we've appointed a very good manager, although, you know, albeit he hasn't started yet. But I just felt there was a bit of optimism going into the game, and actually we did okay first half. We defended really badly today on several levels. You know, we didn't defend crosses into the box. The marking wasn't good enough, or we didn't react quick enough in many situations. Brighton could have had more goals than they did, in fact. But obviously, you know, you can never generally in a football game blame one man for a defeat, but you actually can today. Semedo was awful. At fault for certainly 2 goals, and certainly 1 goal at fault for. And also, of course, he a ridiculous red card. His focus and intensity and his concentration and decision making was totally wrong. Now that's a lot of things that are totally wrong, isn't it? You can almost exclusively blame him today, but we didn't defend well at all today. We really didn't. And what can I say now? This feeling is getting. You know, we're getting used to this, aren't we? Another weekend where, you know, there's a cloud hanging over you as a Wolves fan because we've lost again. You know, we're all the same. We don't want a defeat to dominate your life. You don't want it to destroy everything you have. But it's this feeling again, isn't it? But we've lost again. And how do you raise yourself after that? Another week knowing that we've lost until the next game happens and you have a bit of optimism again, and then it happens again and again. It's become too regular now, hasn't it? The effort was there for sure. Did they fight hard and try and win the game? They definitely did that, but you know what? The quality isn't there again, is it? A new manager's been appointed and is the most high quality manager we've probably appointed in our history. But believe me, he has his work cut out because this team isn't good enough. This has been a nightmare period, hasn't it? And let's just get these next couple of games out of the way, get to the World Cup, and hopefully we more or less start with a clean slate, because none of us can take much more of this, can we? It's depressing. What else can I say?
Thanks to the guys that have sent in for this one. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below on what they've said. And yeah, until the next one, always Wolves.